Woo! What's up? It's your boy Carcino here. And let's get to it, man. Let's talk some hip hop. Well, this is not really hip hop. This is like just trash gossip. It's like a lot of these people are fools, man. It's like a terrible scenario. When people are just lame, they'll do anything that's lame. Like they just it's no it's like no barriers no more. Like you used to have old heads that would check you for being a lame when you was doing something that wasn't considered to be status quo or just let's just straight out host it. In other words, you would get called out for it. Nobody calls anybody out no more because whoever got the money, they don't want to upset the apple cart. So they be, oh, well, dude got money. So if dude got money, that means it supersedes him being stupid, a lame, doing something that's not really considered what men would do in this situation. Now, here are two successful, let me repeat, successful shows. Like both shows are completely successful. Why in the world would you have the need or the gall to say anything about people who are lesser? That wouldn't make any sense. I know if I'm on top, why am I worried about who at the bottom? Why are you so concerned and why is it so funny to go ahead and make fun of people who you feel that you're greater than? You see what I'm saying? Why is that the case? What makes you feel you're greater? So for those who just got here, hit the like button. Um, we're gonna get right to it. Joe Budden and Nori decided to sit down and have a conversation where they both throw their shots at nobody other. They didn't say any names, but they were referring to Cam and a couple other rappers. Now, here's the situation so that you understand what's happening. Nori goes on the show and he starts talking about how these rappers that came up in their era are getting podcast shows and they just failing and they laughing on the show. Now, this is Nori, the righteous man. I just want peace and all this. But he's sitting on the couch talking reckless, real reckless, about all these dudes. And Joe's sitting there laughing with him. Oh, it's good to see people fail. It's that's not even funny. It's not even cool. It's more lame. It's more lame than anything. Like that stuff wouldn't even be that would have been checked by any OG that's in the game. They'd have been like, oh, that's lame. Like I wouldn't even be trying to take credit for something like that. That's some real lame ish what you just did. Naturally, Camron responded because they started saying, "Oh, rappers are getting cooking shows. They doing comedy now." Cam is the only rapper that has a cooking show that has a does the comedy on his show and everything else. But to sit there and say they failing and all this stuff, why do you take shots at these guys for? I'm gonna tell you why they do it. Because they have nothing going on their channel. So when you have nothing going on your channel and your page, this is what you do now. Joe, we expect this from Joe Budden. Joe Budden has been a weak dude his entire career. He's always been this guy. The whole time he was like he was crusading for the money and all this. Remember, he used to be sitting up there in a doggone wife beater, beer gut, hanging out. Yo, hitting the keyboard. I'm not mesmerized here. He was the guy who was complaining about how he was being treated unfairly and the people had his back. That's when the show was real. That's when it was grimy. That's when it had point. There were people there to check the rhetoric. You don't have that anymore. Now you just have this sideshow. And now that you have this sideshow, you have all these people who think they know best. Like Father knows best. Like, we know what's best for you. Don't worry. We know what's best. And then now the money's coming in, the sponsors. He's going to these events with Jay-Z. Is that got the Amiri hats? Now Joe is corporate Joe. But everybody's like, man, this is what you was against. Now you hanging out with the buggity, 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 buggity. Now he believes his channel, his page, everything is great now. Oh, it's all wonderful now. Is it? Is it really? Is it truly wonderful, your show? So while y'all talking, look at your show. Drink Champs ain't been the same. It's actually been weak in the past 2 years. So you got to think about that when you start saying we need to think about things. People never seem to basically see the error in their own ways. They so quick to point the finger, but they never stop to listen and say, well, you know what? Maybe it's me. Maybe I'm a problem. See, they don't have any buzz on their channels right now. See, Drink Champs has gotten so big, they can't do the things they used to do anymore. Joe Budden podcast has gotten so big, they can't do the same things they used to do anymore. You see, all of these different people that's involved, there's like a celestial scale of a balance of how bad people's shows are. And people claim that they're doing so well, right? But Mr. Glasshouse, why are you so focused on people that's below you if you're doing so well? You would let it go. That would be the case. You would let it go. You would say, you know what? I can't really put this information out, or I don't really need to talk about them. Let's focus on the upwards. You see all these other podcast shows. Do they have to take shots? Do you see Joe Rogan podcast show? Do they have to take shots at another podcast show to get hits and views? So that's the way I look at it. To me, it's foolery. And it's just a way to get some attention and light back on them because they ain't popping no more. Yeah, it was exactly what I told you about Nori. They're clowns. Nori is exactly what I told you. If you remember when I did my truth behind it, I tell you, Nori was always a guy who was friends with everyone. But you could see he's messy. He's always in the middle of stuff. Jay and Nas was beefing. He cool with Nas, then he cool with Jay. Now you see why Nas, broke a flower pot over his head when they was fighting in a restaurant. You see why this guy was always in the mix of something. He was always in the middle. This guy was what you would call not righteous. It's a miracle he fought his way back to get in the game because he would have been gone. He'd have been out this game. Nori was shut off after the Hot 97 incident. Nori's songs couldn't get played on the radio no more. He basically was dropped from the label almost. They were not putting out nothing Nori. And he got shut off from all his friends. They turned their back on him. The same people ass he kissing now turned their back on him. This dude went to Miami, started doing like reggaeton music, and reinvented himself. Now he comes back to New York as Nori. He was gone for so long. He was so depressed here in New York, he's about 300 pounds. Seriously. Nori was like 300 something pounds. He was big as hell, dog. Out of depression. He couldn't go places. Nobody was dealing with him no more. He couldn't go to album release parties, nothing. He was just done in New York. So he had to go to somewhere else and reinvent himself. People forget. You got to rewind them and remind people. You know what I'm saying? You gotta rewind people and you know you look at Joe. That's why I go back to his past. I went to Nori's past because where they are now, they light years away from where they used to be. Because even in their heyday, they were more famous, but they were broke. They had all this fame and was broke. How you gonna have all this fame and no money? Now they got both because of the new internet age. And now Joe's like, yes, I'm feeling good. This is it. Well, like I always told you, when people say something or they move in a certain way, you're going to get the smoke you deserve. So for Cam, this is a good look. Even though they disrespected him, Cam want to take that. Like, let me take that. That's going to give me the attention my show needs. And I'm sorry, I'm sure if he runs into Joe, that's exactly what Joe's like. We was giving you a good look on your page. Now people going to go check you out because we was talking about it. Now they're like, oh, you all just in Cam. So that's how they're going to take it, and they're going to look at it that way. Now, if you look at what Cam said in response, he was like, Nori, told you I couldn't trust you. He's like, I'm just effing with you. But what other rapper from the 90s got a sports and cooking show? You know you my dude for life, but your man Ho Buttons threw you under the bus. The very next episode, he said he didn't know who you was talking about. I didn't give a F how his numbers is. He was like, stay away from that crackhead. Then here comes Joe talking about, I've lapped you a long time ago. Yeah, no, I'm telling you, Cam go catch Joe. Like, he's like, I don't want to do this because you're going to start making calls. And he was like, that's right. Where you at right now? Where you at right now, Brazzy? Yo, I ain't with this peanut butter and jelly shit. What's the meaning of this, Brazzy? Yeah. How many albums you sold? Yeah, I wore pink. I had the whole world wearing pink. You had one song. You had one song. I got like 45 songs that then did your one song. You ain't on my level, B. I'm a businessman. You just got a break with this internet. Other than that, you was a one-hit wonder. Look, you a custy. I don't talk to customers. Cam, listen. I respect you. I respect Jimmy. All of y'all. All right. We know the same people. We don't move in the same way. Okay. Whatever you doing here, I'm not mesmerized. Not at all. I'm one, not even amused. But I have completely done your entire career, sir. Your entire career is done and done over. Matter of fact, I'm going to lap you again. And after your podcast fails, I'll be right here to say I told you so. But I got love for you, Cam. I don't want no smoke. I'll hire you. I'll give you a job. You can come work for me. So when you look at said scenario, right? And when you look at the said scenario, what is the main page or the main thing that you see mostly? I mean, to me, it's clear, but others, it might not be so clear. But I know what I see. Oh, man, when you look at people make these decisions, it's like they don't make smart decisions at all. I know what I see when I see this. I see one guy who's afraid and threatened, and they see other attention going to other places. So now they got to diss what they think is so small. And if it's so small, why are you mentioning it? Because they weren't mentioning you. They're doing their show. And why come or how come you see all these other shows, they don't have to do that? Just using Joe Rogan because he's the number one podcast show. Joe Rogan don't have to diss you for having people come over there and watch his show. He's got his following. So if he don't have to mention you, if he don't have to do any of these things, why in the world you feel you got to disrespect the man? Why is that? Where's the cool points in that? And y'all didn't even say anything that was funny or I don't even see what y'all was laughing at. To me, it made y'all look just like straight clowns. Y'all laughing at somebody is failing. Gilbert Arenas show has failed. But what did we say? We said, man, dog, your show is bad because it's bad. But I said, we can fix it. Let us fix the show for you. That's what we said. So if you ain't trying to help the situation, then, don't be a part of it. Like they said, if you don't want to be part of the solution, don't be part of the problem. It's clear as day. We got enough people being part of the problem. Be part of the solution. And I haven't seen enough of Mason's show to really say it's a good show or bad show. I really haven't seen it that much. I've been doing so many things, y'all know, it's only 24 hours in a day. Wish them all the success in the world. And that's just about it. You have everybody else jumping to conclusions and saying this and that. It is what it is. But I'm going to get out of here, man. Don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe to the page if you're new here. Don't know if you're not getting your notifications, but if you're not, please report to YouTube, hit the send feedback button, say I'm not getting my notifications to this channel, use my URL, my Cash App, you should be in the thing, in the banner. It says Casino for Life on the Patreon, but the Casino for Life is the Cash App. I mean, Casino is the Cash App. Karceno. Once you see that, then you know it's me. I never felt a certain way about anything. So, on that note, be blessed, and we out.